Alright, so I just wanted to talk about any potential snow this weekend for my area within the Cincinnati area. So whenever you're checking a weather model in looking at your local forecast, if you want to know the certainty of something happening, there's several things you might want to check. Now first, we're going to look at time. When is it going to happen? We're going to look at MS, model support. What do the weather models out there say about this system? We're going to look at totals. How much snow will we be talking here? And in the end, we're going to look at any possibility of snow days off from school. So, first up, the time. Now, this is a relative consensus that it's supposed to be Saturday. This is a relatively definitive answer at this point, which is not exactly a great time for snow if you're looking for the closing. If you're looking for the closing, Saturday is not great overall, because you have the whole weekends to go through still. I typically view snows on like a Friday night or a Saturday as like the worst snows if you're looking for the days off. So next we're going to check the model support and see if the models support the system. Now, the site that I have open here is a site called Tropical Tidbits. It's a cool site. You can check the weather models and stuff on it. So I go up here to forecast models. Oh, looks like the new one's coming in. I'm gonna go back to 12Z real quick. Oh. And we are going to change the region so it gets a bit closer zoomed in on us. Now these mesoscale models, now there's two different main models. There's the mesoscale models, which are more high resolution. However, these don't go out far enough to cover the time frame that we're talking. So we're going to have to look at the global models. Now, out of these global models, the European and the GFS, which is an American model, tend to be the two that are overall the best. The Canadian and NavGem are also relevant, but they're not quite as accurate, I should say. So first we should take a look at the GFS, see what it says about this. And it has our weather system coming down here from Manitoba and down into the Ohio Valley, up near the Great Lakes, extending its influence southerly, bringing snow to our area. This is what you would call a Manitoba Mauler, which is where a snow system comes out of Manitoba and it forms there, and it comes down across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley area up into the northeast. And that's generally the pattern that we have with this. So we're looking at, so GFS has this as a Manitoba Mauler, is what they call it. We're going to take a look. Now the Canadian model has much of the similar. A Manitoba Mauler coming down from the province of Manitoba in Canada. The low pressure system working out across the Great Lakes, extending influence southerly, bringing our area snowfall. And the NavGem has a very similar scenario playing out. system originates from up here, comes down towards the Great Lakes, and its influence comes down into the Ohio Valley, thus bringing us snowfall. And now at the European, we can't look at quite the same charts that we did with the rest of these, but we can look at winds. And for the forecast time during Saturday, it has generally the same idea. The low coming down from Manitoba, extending into the Great Lakes area, and spreading snow across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley areas. And then the NavGem model, we can switch back. Wait, I think we already looked at that one, never mind. So, model support, yes. The models typically say it's going to happen, and at least as it would stand now, I would say that the answer is probably yes. Now, a quick look at snow totals. Only two of the global models on the site carry snow totals. The GFS, the American GFS, and the Canadian. So we're going to take a look at what both of these say for snow totals from the system. And going into Saturday, crossing into Sunday, here's what this model is indicating. Now scrolling down, look at the scale a little bit. That's about 1/10 of an inch, this darkest blue here. The second lightest shade is about 1/2 an inch. Above that's the 1 inch mark. About 1 inch across the Cincinnati area. And the Canadian model has right about the same thing. As we put it here on forecast hour 96, on Sunday, it has about 1 inch of snow, roughly. So, I think at this point we'd be talking at about 1 inch. Now this total is meh, essentially. Now, if this was on a weekday, I would say that that about 1 inch is basically our borderline mark, where we could or could not get a snow day. So, if this was on a weekday, then I would say maybe. But on a weekend, on a Saturday, I'm just not tempted by the idea. I don't think it would take long enough to clean up for it to cause issues into a snow day for Monday. So, in the end, I'm currently saying snow days would be probably not, judging off the current scenario with this. Now, if this total was a bit higher, like 1 or 2 inches higher, this would be maybe. But I just don't think that total is enough to extend for more than 1 day. My typical thinking when it comes to whether or not we'll get snow days is typically we would need 1 inch for the first day, and then 1.5 for any days after that. So if we got 1 inch on the dot, maybe that would cause issues Saturday night and Sunday, but I don't think that would cause issues Monday. Now, if this total was like 3 inches instead of just 1, I would say, you know what? That something with 2 to 3 inches would possibly overflow into a Monday. So at this point, I'm thinking probably not for Monday, for a Monday snow day. We're about 2 or 3 days out from when this is supposed to happen. There's still time for things to shift, but it doesn't seem very probable at this point. So I'm inclined to say 5 to 10% shot. And this may be generous, specifying off what we're seeing right now with about 1 inch. Because, like I said, 1 inch just isn't enough to extend to 2 days. So I'm almost done. I'm just going to leave you with a general forecast for the next 5 days across our area, so you can get a general idea of what we're supposed to see. We should be in the low to mid 30s for much of the next 5 days. Nice weather for Thursday and Friday. Weather with highs in the 30s. Things should cool down going into Saturday with high temperatures in the low 30s and about 1 inch of snow. On Sunday, things should clear up a little bit, but we won't be much warmer than Saturday in that aspect. But things will warm up a little bit Monday, get a little bit cloudier, and beyond that, I think at this point is an uncertain mess, honestly. Beyond Monday is an uncertain mess. Because I've seen models wanting to bring us snow Tuesday, I've seen models wanting to bring us snow Thursday, and I've seen some that want to leave us completely dry all of next week. So I would say anything beyond this 5-day forecast at this point is relatively uncertain. And thus, I'm not going to comment on the status of whether or not it would be any good as a snow day. Or if there would be any snow at all, for that matter. Well, that should be about all. And I guess I'll talk to you later.